Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, JC Courtside, coming at y'all today on Thursday, January 29th. So happy to have y'all in the show today. Whether you're a podcast listener or a live crew member, I appreciate you guys all. Well, actually, I was going to say all the same, but I do appreciate the live crew more. It's not that I don't appreciate you guys in the podcast. I do. But come on, I got to show love to my live crew who tune in Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern on Twitch. You guys know I appreciate y'all very, very much. Today's episode is a fun one, okay? I know a lot of you guys, unfortunately, only tune in when your teams win. There's a couple people in my live crew who I don't see when their team's on a losing streak. So I would like to just say, ahead of everything, we are talking about every single game that happened last night, all right? In fact, I have to take a quick second break for my podcast because I realized I was telling a story before this live show started and I didn't say hi to one of my favorite viewers, Newsome. Good morning, sweetheart. Shout out, New. He's a GOAT. He's a Heat fan and he's still here. So that shows you how real this community can be and how fake some people can be. Mike, I'm talking to you, Timberwolves fans. So today we're going to be headlining with a specific game last night. And then we're going to be talking about another game from last night. And then we're going to break down all the rest of the games because I don't want to exclude some of those teams, okay? Winners and losers. I don't want to exclude some of those teams, right? We're going to be briefly going through those games. So just for example, like the Warriors beat the Mavs, right? Like I'm not going to dive too deep into that, but we are going to dive deep into two of those games from last night. We don't want to talk too much about those games though, because today we are actually doing something that probably won't mean anything in the long run, but it's something to pay attention to. We are going to be doing a segment. It's got a very nice name. And did I forget how to pronounce? I might have. So today, I want you guys to stick around to the end because some news released yesterday about Giannis Trade, and we're going to talk about that to end this show off, okay? So be sure you guys stick around. Be sure to stick around, and yeah, don't go anywhere. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. Live crew, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, follow, whatever platform you're watching on. And Twitch chat, all you guys got to do is sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy the show. Today, we're going to be headlining with, honestly, my favorite game from last night. It was a lot of fun to watch, even though I was extremely tired. We are going to start with the Houston Rockets just absolutely crumbling in Houston against the San Antonio Spurs. Now, this game was it was fun to watch. I won't lie. I enjoy watching these games because I don't have any stakes in it, you know? I can just watch and enjoy, right? Now, I do want to talk about some key storylines that it seems like people now are just getting adjusted to and like they haven't watched many Rockets games, so they don't know what it really looks like, right? My first storyline I'm going to talk about is the fact that Houston's half-court offense is damn near one of the worst in the league. And this is why I said Houston's not a good team. They beat the Pistons, and that's because they had the best player on the floor in Kevin Durant for that night. And that's sometimes that's as simple as these games can be, man. But the reason I say they're not a good basketball team is because their half-court offense, I would say, is about the second worst in the entire NBA. If they didn't have Kevin Durant, it would be undisputed the worst half-court offense in the entire NBA. Yes, we will be talking about the worst half-court offense later in this show, but the Houston Rockets managed to only score 37 points in the second half. In fact, they only managed to score 13 points in the fourth quarter, looking like my teammate in my rec league. And this is the kind of game that I enjoy because three-point shooting was not prolific in this game. The Spurs only hit 6. The Rockets only hit 8. In fact, I got to talk about the biggest storyline of the night. First and foremost, is it just me, or are teams allowed to play a lot more aggressive than, for example, the Pistons? Because the Pistons can't play any defense whatsoever before getting called a foul, but I'm watching Amen Thompson hold and grab Wemby all night long, and most of them are not being called. It's so crazy what happens when you have a reputation of being an aggressive defensive player versus just like being allowed to foul, like a Lou Dort, like a Dylan Brooks, like all these teams, right? I do have to respond to this guy, Giovanni, in the TikTok stream. He has asked me, what do you think about the Suns about 15 times? We're not talking about the Suns today. So in case Giovanni needed to hear that, we are not discussing the Suns today. So let's talk about the biggest storyline of this game. It seems like the whole world just learned how you guard a Thompson twin. And this is not new to me because my team has a Thompson twin, okay? So I checked NBA Twitter because that's what I do after all of these games. And my Lord, Rockets fans, they were all screaming at one player, and that was Amen Thompson. Now, if you look at the box score, Amen Thompson, if you're not watching the game, he had 25.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, a block, and 2 turnovers, and he shot 11 for 23 from the field. So you might be wondering, how are they coming at this guy? Well, let me explain. They did something to Amen that OKC did to Amen. They're doing to Amen like every team is doing to Asar Thompson. Now, the Pistons, the reason why I bring up the Pistons, because they for real are the Rockets of the East, and not just because they have Amen Thompson. The reason why I say that is because teams have been doing that to Asar all season long, where they put, this is what the defensive scheme looks like. So Ime Udoka absolutely got out-coached, and I think this is a big coaching problem because he did this in Boston a lot, and you guys can verify this if you're a Celtics fan. When Ime was a coach in Boston, when he would get out-coached, when a team would make one adjustment, he wouldn't make an adjustment to counter that adjustment at all. He just rolled with whatever worked, and if it failed, it failed, and if it worked, it worked. And it seems like he's doing that same thing here in Houston. They put Victor Wembanyama to guard Amen Thompson. You guys are probably thinking he probably dusted him, right? He was probably running right past him. No. Victor Wembanyama was camping in the paint while Amen Thompson had 15 feet of room. I wish I were exaggerating. You guys can watch the games back. But Amen Thompson had 15 feet open. Nobody. He's on an island by himself, and he's not shooting. And reason being, Amen Thompson can't shoot the three. In fact, he's just given up on attempting the three. I don't remember the last 3 I've seen Amen Thompson attempt, but he's shooting 19% from deep. It's not good. And that's okay. Because as Ime Udoka should do is what JB Bickerstaff does. When teams do this to the Pistons do something very, very simple. And this has been a play actually since as early as I can remember, the grit and grind Grizzlies with Tony Allen. Because if you guys remember Tony Allen, he couldn't shoot. He was the worst shooter in the league, but he was a lockdown defender. So what teams would do is they would put their centers who are mobile enough to just stay in the paint and let the man of men just chill on the perimeter by himself because he's not going to shoot. He's not a threat. So there's a simple play. There's a simple play to beat that defense, okay? What you do is you take a man off the ball. So Durant has the ball. Şengün has the ball. Reed has the ball. Anybody has the ball except for Amen Thompson. And what Amen does is he either sets an off-ball screen to make Victor Wembanyama go up, or you set a screen on ball that makes Victor Wembanyama go up, because otherwise they're going to give up a wide open three. They didn't do that. In fact, they didn't do that a single time last night. Instead, they just kept allowing Amen Thompson to be by himself on an island and not attempt shots. And that is like the biggest, I don't know about you guys, but if somebody's not respecting my jump shot, I'm going to lose all my confidence. And I know these professionals are that same way, man. They are the same exact way. They feel that way as well. If you're wide open and they're daring you to shoot, man, it's going to be tough to shoot that. It's going to be tough. I see people in the TikTok saying that the stream froze. The Twitch stream is perfect. So if you guys want your stream, be sure to come through to the Twitch. So Ime Udoka, honestly, I feel lost this game. We're talking about Giannis later, guys. He lost them this game because all he had to do was put Amen Thompson in some pick and roll action, off the ball, on the ball, get Victor Wembanyama to come out of the paint. And they didn't. They didn't. Ime Udoka just accepted it. He just accepted it. Now, it doesn't help that Alperen Şengün was 0 for 8 in the fourth quarter. I repeat, he was 0 for 8 in the fourth quarter. Şengün got hurt like 10 games ago, and he's been sort of really, really bad for the last 10 games other than one. I'd say 8 out of the last 10 games, he's been very, very bad since he got hurt. And, yeah, Kevin Durant was getting clamped. I got to be honest. Stephon Castle, Vassell, they were all hounding him. And when you don't have three-point threats around Durant, what does it mean? I think the Rockets need an offensive coordinator here because losing Steven Adams is tough. But losing Fred VanVleet's not going to make your offense that much better. This is Fred VanVleet we're talking about. He's a good player, but this is also a 30-plus-year-old coming off of an ACL injury. So Fred VanVleet's not going to come in and be your Steph Curry to your Kevin Durant. They need a ball handler. Sure, they do. But I guarantee you, having a ball handler and having a point guard was not going to fix this because at the same time, you are going to just have Amen Thompson be on the court and look useless. And this is like something that JB Bickerstaff does for the Detroit Pistons. When our offense is extremely stagnant, he'll take Asar Thompson out. He will take him out if they are putting that center there and he's not good in the pick and roll action that night. It's really hit or miss. So with having Amen Thompson on the court, you need to, if the center is guarding him, you need to get that center in motion. You need to set on-ball screens. You need to set off-ball screens. Until you do so, it's not going to look pretty. It's not going to look pretty at all, man. He's sitting there on an island by himself, and now you have Rockets fans insulting the wrong player on the court. You should be insulting your head coach, not Amen Thompson. He's doing what he can do. The Thompson twins might never shoot ever. They might never have a competent three-point shot. Ever. They won't. They might not. People always say, if this player gets a jump shot, if that player gets a jump shot, if this player gets a jump shot. The list is endless when it comes to players we said that about that never developed a jump shot. Most of these players that we say, if they can get a jump shot, it just never comes. It never comes. That's just a part of their DNA. It never comes. There's a lot of players in the league right now that you say, if they get a jump shot, they might not. Just to name a few, Dyson Daniels, Amen Thompson, Asar Thompson, they might not. If it does, it happens. Ben Simmons back then, sure. There's so many players that we said that about. So, all I got to say to end this topic off is Wembanyama looked absolutely unbelievable. He didn't even have that good of a game, but he had 15 free throws, shot 8 for 15 from the line. I think the most impressive thing I saw from the Spurs team was Dylan Harper just injecting energy into this game. He is so damn good at driving to the hoop. He can't shoot at all. He has zero jump shot. In fact, it's horrible. But the way he just barrels into the hoop and does those beautiful acrobatic finishes is awesome. It's awesome. Seeing Keldon Johnson, he's my favorite player that comes off the bench almost in the entire NBA. I'd say he's a top 3 player that comes off the bench for me in the entire NBA. I love watching that guy hoop. Dylan Harper played really, really well. De'Aaron Fox had an okay game. Stephon Castle had a great game when you look at his defense and his effort and his energy. Champagnie had a horrible game, and yet they still managed to win. So they didn't even win by having a good shooting night. This team is fun, man. This Spurs team is very, very fun. It's going to be super exciting to see this team develop. We're going to be talking about the Spurs some more later, but I think I just got to give credit where credit is due. None of us were expecting the Spurs to take this massive of a leap this year. So I'd like to give a special shout out to the Spurs fans. Enjoy this, guys, because right now this season you're playing with nothing but house money. Win a playoff series, don't win a playoff series. It doesn't matter. You guys exceeded expectations, and you guys are far ahead of schedule. Enjoy this season. Seriously, don't stress about every single loss. You guys are 3 games ahead of the Rockets, okay? Do not stress out about these losses. You have such a deep team, and that is how you win NBA championships now. It might not happen this year, but shit, next year you could genuinely convince me that this team is going to be a dynasty. You could genuinely convince me. Like, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is so freaking cool. I love watching teams surpass expectations, and that was a big win for the Spurs. They absolutely just embarrassed Houston on their home floor. I love it. I absolutely love it. As far as Houston goes, again, Ime Udoka has to be better. He got out-coached by Mitch Johnson. I don't think Mitch Johnson did anything special. He did what every good team would do, and they put Victor Wembanyama on Amen Thompson and didn't guard him at the 3. plain and simple. They didn't guard him at the 3, and Ime Udoka didn't put him into any pick and roll options. Nothing, man. Nothing. I'm watching Amen Thompson, and I'm screaming at the TV, Ime, put him off the ball. Put him off the ball. Set an off-ball screen. Set an on-ball screen. You need Wembanyama to leave the paint. And they were just allowing Wemby to sit in the paint for the entire second half. That is not how you use a Thompson twin. There's no way JB Bickerstaff figured out how to use a Thompson twin before Ime Udoka. If Asar Thompson was half as aggressive and got half the minutes as Amen Thompson did, Asar Thompson would be talked about as quite literally one of the best players in the NBA. But unfortunately, I say unfortunately, we have Cade Cunningham. If they used Amen the way they used Asar, Amen would look way better. If the Pistons used Asar the way they used Amen, Asar would look way better. It's funny how it goes hand in hand. It really is. All right, guys, let's move on to our next game that we have. I just want to remind everybody the schedule of today's episode. We're going to talk about all the games, and then we're going to finish today's episode with a certain topic about a certain somebody that said a certain thing yesterday. Okay, no, we'll be talking about Giannis, but it's going to be a fun segment. Okay, so be sure to stick around to the absolute end. I do also want to say, TikTok, YouTube, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to leave that stream and swing on into the Twitch stream. The link is in my bio. If you guys want to join a bunch of basketball knowers, basketball talkers, be sure to join the Twitch stream. It's a much better experience over here. It's like a real actual sports show. So be sure to swing on into the Twitch. We do this Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, and we would love to have you in the Twitch stream. Come join and let me know what team you're a fan of. Lastly, again, I see a lot of people questioning why Alperen Sengun was so bad. He got hurt about 10 games ago, and his last 8 out of his 10 games have not been impressive at all. He's just playing to get fouled, and when you play to get fouled, you lose me as a fan. Let's move on to our next game, where the New York Knicks not only went from the 4th seed, they didn't just claim their 4th seed, but they also took back their 2nd seed last night. Your New York Knicks are on a 4-game losing streak. Are the 4 games against 2 of the worst teams in the NBA and Philadelphia and Toronto? Sure, but you got to beat who's in front of you, and they did exactly that. New York Knicks, we're back. In fact, I don't know what Jalen Brunson said in that team meeting. I don't know what the fuck he said. But Mikal Bridges, 12 for 15, 30 points. OG Anunoby, 26 points, 11 for 18. Josh Hart, 7 for 11, 22 points. Oh, yeah. And Karl Anthony Towns, 3 for 11. Knicks fans, the writing's on the wall. I don't want anybody to say, hey, he was doing his thing on the glass last night. Bro, I can get rebounds over Sandro Mamukelashvili, bro. I can get 22 rebounds on Sandro Mamukelashvili, okay? So let's not talk about Cat's 22 rebounds, all right? They don't have a center. They don't have anybody to box him out. If he didn't get 22 rebounds, it would be embarrassing, okay? Because with all due respect, he's got like 5 inches on Sandro Mamukelashvili, okay? So let's go ahead and let's just give credit where credit is due, man. If Jalen Brunson can play 30 minutes and only drop 13 points, man, that is just spectacular. That is absolutely spectacular. The other guys did their things this game. They did their thing. If you guys have noticed, I keep saying his full name because I love saying it. Mamukelashvili. Sandro Mamukelashvili. I love saying his name. Sorry. I know everyone calls him Mamu. I just want to prove that I could say his full name. The New York Knicks did their thing, man. They had decent bench production. Not much. They didn't need it. In fact, remember when I called the Houston Rockets the 2nd worst half-court offense in the NBA? You guys remember that? Just 5 minutes ago? Well, right now, you're looking at the worst half-court offense in the NBA. I'm sorry, Raptors fans. Their half-court offense, I told you guys, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. They managed to score 19 points in the third quarter, 23 points in the second quarter, and 22 points in the fourth quarter. And that's the way she goes, man. It just does not look good in the half-court offense. Now, I talked about this team, and my buddy Kai in the Twitch chat came in and he was flexing. Jay-Z, we're number 1 in the NBA at fast break points. And I said, uh-oh, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, that's not fucking good. And he said, what? What do you mean? Why? I said, you never want to be the first in fast break offense. And he said, what? I said, that means you guys can't. And I was like, okay, wait, let me look at their advanced stats. They're the worst team in half court offense. And that's why I said that is the worst combination you can have. Now, if you're a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder that is the best at fast breaks, that's because they force turnovers, force bad shots, and they run down the court and get you some easy buckets. That's not what the Raptors are doing. The Raptors are the number 1 team in fast break points. Fast break points, they are number 1. So when you see that statistic, you pray to God you have a good half-court offense and a good defense. That's how you need to think. But unfortunately, the Raptors don't. They have a top 10 defensive rating, but they pretty much rely on scoring in the fast break offense. And come playoff time, ladies and gentlemen, what is the least advanced metric that you score on in the playoffs? Well, in case you don't know, it's fast break opportunities. In the playoffs, fast break opportunities are so fucking hype because they barely happen. Need I remind you of some certain clips? I remember that one Russell Westbrook one. I think that was their first fast break bucket of that night. Back on the Thunder, they got a steal, the outlet to Russell Westbrook, and he hit that crazy layup, and like he did that huge big step. That was the first fast break bucket of that entire playoff game, like what, 12 years ago? That's how it's always been. That's how it's always been. Fast break opportunities in the playoffs are hard to come by. The Pistons were number 1 in fast break points last year. The issue with it is they were also the worst half-court offense in the league last year. Now, the Pistons are second in fast break opportunities. Or sorry, third. But they have improved in half-court offense to be a top 15 team, which is not good, but it ain't bad. It's better than last year. So when you look at the Raptors, they have the worst half-court offense in the entire NBA, and they also have the best fast break scoring in the entire NBA. That is a recipe for disaster in the playoffs because eventually it comes a point where you can't just pass it to Brandon Ingram and just rely on those elbow jumpers all night long. The Raptors, honestly, it was just Brandon Ingram. He shot 10 for 16. Scotty had a quieter game. RJ Barrett was horrible, 3 for 13. Emmanuel Quickley, he's cooled off. He went 3 for 9. And then you had Jacoby Walter, 0 for 6, looking like the captain of my basketball rec league. And that's what happens, man. The New York Knicks had a spectacular game, and I'm scared. I'm terrified. And I knew this would happen. I knew the Knicks wouldn't suck. We talked about it. We're going to talk about the Knicks again later on today. But as far as this basketball team goes, they're clicking. They're playing better. I don't believe in the hot shooting from Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. I'm genuinely terrified because if they start clicking, this is the time to start clicking. Okay. I don't think Mikal Bridges is going to be putting up 30 a night. None of us believe that. But if he can get you a smooth 16 to 20, if you can get a smooth 14 to 20 for OG, and then just get Jalen Brunson 20 to 30 and get, bro, at least 20 from Cat, because this is fucking bad. Yeah, man. We'll see. We'll see. Honestly, it's sort of embarrassing talking about this New York team as I am, because you would think that we're supposed to be headlining Karl Anthony Towns, but it's not happening. It's not happening. What's scary is if they could get this team to have all contribution from the entire starting lineup, who's beating this basketball team? Who? I genuinely don't know, man. Deuce and Mitch were out last night, and they still got it done. I wasn't too worried about them missing Mitch last night. Like I said, the Raptors don't have a center, so I wasn't worried about getting rebounds. I wasn't worried about those box outs. It was pretty obvious what was going to happen this game. And the New York Knicks, they put the Raptors away in really funny fashion. Because Raptors basketball, I got to be honest with everybody, man, it's fucking ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. Like, it gets ugly quick. You know, like, they can go on a nice 10-0 run and then just not score for 7 minutes. The Raptors aren't a bad team. They just don't have consistent offensive threats. When you have IQ making the money he's making, they would have moved his ass by now, but his contract is too big. And then your glue guy, RJ Barrett, had a bad game, man. That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. The Raptors are a good team with bad offense. And that's, you know, they can make some noise in the playoffs. But when those shots are not falling, man, it gets ugly quick. I love the Raptors. I always support the Raptors. But, yeah, I just got to be honest, man. Okay, let's move on. We're going to go ahead and do a lightning round with the rest of these games from last night. And then we're going to get into our final topic of this episode. I do want to remind you guys again, if you are in the TikTok stream, get out of there. Come to the Twitch, y'all. Come to the Twitch stream. We need y'all. We need y'all on the Twitch. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. We're waiting for y'all to come through. Not a single one of y'all have. If you guys come to the Twitch stream and watch 3 streams in a row, I will personally gift you a sub out of my own pocket. $5 sub. Come to the Twitch. All right, guys, let's get, like I said, lightning. Let's be quick here, all right? Up first, we have the Atlanta Hawks upsetting the Boston Celtics. Beantown Boys, I'm sorry. Not a good game. Not a good game. Jaylen Brown, not a great game. 9 for 20, 21 points. But then you didn't have any help from Amari Williams. He looked lost out there. There's a reason he only played 15 points. I don't know why Hugo wasn't starting there, but even he didn't have that great of a game. Not a great game from the Boston Celtics. Everyone scored, but none of them scored a significant amount. And their defense looked miserable last night because they allowed Jalen Johnson to go for 19. He had 6 for 16, so he wasn't even like the best player on the floor. NAW, he's just stepped up and unlocked himself. And their bench did their thing. CJ McCollum, Luke Kennard, Mohamed Gay, and Vic Krejci. They had a really good game. Out of all those guys, Atlanta upsets the Boston Celtics, and Boston falls to the 3rd seed in the East. Oh, I also want to mention, apparently, Jason Tatum, it was reported, he's actually considering not coming back this year. He doesn't want to rush it. He's serious. He said, I don't think I'm going to come back this year. And that's surprising, but I don't blame him. In fact, I don't want him to come back this year. Not because I don't want more competition in the East, but because this is an Achilles injury. You saw Kobe. He came back 8 months after his Achilles injury, and he was never the same. He was old when it happened to him, sure. But you're young, JT. You're only 19 years old. Take this year off. I've been preaching that all year. Take this year off, let your team cook, and just come back next year. The Celtics will make it to the 2nd round at least. So I think just sit this one out, come back next year, and come back better than ever. Because I think Tatum's going to recover very, very nicely like Durant did. There's no sense in rushing this. Take your time. Good win for the Hawks. Good win. Move up to the 9th seed, baby. Let's move on to Florida. The Orlando Magic own the Miami Heat, y'all. They win 133-124. The Miami had a 41-point second quarter, but they collapsed as they always do in the 3rd quarter. The Orlando Magic winning by 9 points, even though Simone, even though he had 23 points off the bench, that couldn't get it done. They couldn't hold on to the lead. When I was watching this game, I figured that they were going to just hold on to that lead and win, but Jovic 1 for 4. I don't know why Jovic gets 19 minutes per game. I don't know why Khalil Ware gets 7 minutes per game. Why does Eric Spoelstra hate Khalil Ware? Why is he only getting 7 minutes per game? It makes no fucking sense to me, Eric Spoelstra. It makes no sense. Are you keeping him healthy to trade him? What is going on? What's going on? I don't get it. The starters had a good game. The bench had a good game. But what do the Heat suck at, ladies and gents? Defense. And Orlando, they didn't play any defense either, but their offense was better. Paolo, 31 points, incredible game. I love how Paolo in his last 2 games have only attempted 3 threes. I love that shit. Inject that shit into my veins. It's like I manifested this, ladies and gents. It's like Paolo heard I know he didn't hear my podcast, but it's like he heard my podcast. Every time I talk shit about a player in this league, it's like all of a sudden they start doing what I said they can't do. I said, Paolo, you are 6'11". Take him to the fucking hoop, dog. Take him to the hoop. Stop taking Kevin Garnett long twos. Stop it. Incredible game from Paolo. Incredible game. I love it. Incredible. Wendell Carter, he's got Angel Reese, doesn't matter. Desmond Bain, smooth 23, efficient shooting. Jalen Suggs, okay game. He was great defensively. Anthony Black, shout out to you for coming back and taking a big game there. 26 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Incredible game. He shot 11 for 19, and their bench did their thing, man. I can name everybody. The Orlando Magic, I am rooting for them from afar. I hate the Magic, but I love the Magic, man. And I like to see them win. If it's between Orlando and Miami, I just want to enjoy hoops, man. I just want to enjoy hoops. That's all I want. And man, shout out. I don't know what Mosley said to Jonathan Isaac. Did y'all see that, man, last night? The box score doesn't tell the full story. It does not tell the full story. 4 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He was everywhere. What the hell did Mosley give him a little? I don't know what he told Jonathan Isaac, but he's looking like a basketball player. I don't know. He's looking like a basketball player. Yeah, man, Heat fans, I'm sorry, y'all. You know, your season's been a roller coaster ride. You win 3, you lose 3, you win 2, you lose 2, you win 1, you lose 1, you win 1, you lose 1. Yeah, no hero. You guys needed him last night. No Davion Mitchell. That's unfortunate, man. I don't know why. Chat, please just tell me, bro. Why is Yakachonis getting 20 minutes and Khalil Ware is getting 7, bro? Like, make fucking sense to me, bro. Yakachonis doesn't even have a picture on StatMuse, and you're telling me this motherfucker deserves 20 minutes? 20 minutes and Khalil Ware gets 7 minutes? I don't understand what is going on in Miami. I don't get it. Let's move on to the next game real quick, guys. We got to move with some pace, man. Golden State beat the Jazz. Yay! We're back. We're back. We're back. Yay! We're back. Let's go to Minnesota, let's go to Dallas real quick. Big game for Minnesota Timberwolves. They played very, very well. Here's the thing about the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is how you win. This is how you win. If you have Naz Reid going for 20 plus off the bench, you better hope to God that Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards both had mediocre games. Because if they all have good games, you're not winning the game. Julius Randle, 31 points. Anthony Edwards, 20 points. And Naz Reid, 23 points. You're going to lose every time. You can't do anything when 3 guys are putting up 20 plus and one of them 30 plus. You're not going to win those games. Not in today's NBA. You're not going to win those games. Let's move on real quick to the Cleveland Cavaliers just dismantling the Los Angeles Lakers. Wow. Quick storylines. Every other podcast probably starting with this game that happened from last night. LeBron, dookie-ass game. In one of his last games ever in Cleveland, he had 11 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. He was a minus 23 on the court, 6 turnovers. He shot 3 for 10 and 0 for 3 from deep. Jake LaRavia, you're horrible. DeAndre Ayton. Marcus Smart, bad game as well. Luka, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, minus 23 on the court. He didn't play any defense all game. Nobody played defense all game. The Lakers don't play defense at all. And then off your bench, man, did y'all see that demon Gabe Vincent? I saw people on Twitter taking a picture of Gabe Vincent's 11 points, 3 rebounds night. And they took a snapshot of it and they said, damn, y'all seeing this? And they at every single team in the NBA. So, yeah, that's what happened. Jackson Hayes, 7 points, 5 rebounds. Vando, 4 points. Rui Hachimura, 0 for 7. Yeah, this is not a good game, man. This ain't a good game. This ain't a good game. I'm sorry, LeBron. I wish you could have had a better game last night, but it's just shit effort, man. The Cavs hit 17 threes. If you're giving up 17 threes and on 39% shooting, yeah, bro. Bronny had 8 points. Bronny almost had as much as Daddy. I mean, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Let's move on real quick to our next segment, chat. Actually, oh yeah, that concludes our segment. Those are all the games from last night. All right. So, TikTok, again, if you guys are enjoying the stream, now's the time to come into the Twitch stream. What are you doing? Come to the Twitch, TikTok. Jay-Z Uncut. It's the same name on Twitch. Did I not talk about the Hornets? Did I miss a game last night? Did I miss the Hornets? I think I missed the Hornets. I missed the Hornets. My fault, y'all. My fault. My fault. I forgot to add them as a tab. Hornets defeated the Memphis Grizzlies. Defeated the Memphis Grizzlies. Buzz City. Buzz, bitches. Buzz freaking buzz, bro. Buzz freaking buzz. I watched the condensed highlights of this game before I went to bed last night. I mean, bro, I just got to say it again. I got to say it one more time, y'all. I know the Grizzlies suck ass. I did not talk about the Bulls. Good comms, guys. I actually missed a couple games from last night. Good comms. Real quick, this lineup that you're seeing right now, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, Con Knipple, Moose, Diabetes, and LaMelo Ball, this team, chat, this team, they're 10-1 when they start. They're 10-1, chat. They're 10-1 with the starting lineup. Come on, man. Come on, y'all. This team, they're doing stuff. They're doing stuff, bro. 17 threes on 40% shooting from deep. They only had 8 fucking free throws this game. On top of all of that, guys, they're the number 1 offense in 2026 so far. Like, just in the new calendar year, they're number 1 in offense right now. Top 3 in defense. Are you kidding me? Bro, the Hornets are only, and I say only, 3.5 games. 3.5 games behind the Bulls for the play-in. Which, speaking of the Bulls, they dropped to the Indiana Pacers. Sorry, guys, I forgot I had a couple games from last night. They fell to the Indiana Pacers last night, courtesy of Pascal Siakam dropping 20. Nembhard had a good game. Jarris Walker had a good game. Aaron Nesmith had a good game. Typically, they don't get the scoring effort from all of these guys, especially Benedict Mathurin off the bench. It was great. It was great. If the Hornets could stay healthy, yeah, they could definitely make some noise. But the Pacers, bad win. Bad win last night. I know you're probably wondering, Jay-Z, how's it a bad win if they won? That's a bad win, man. And then the Bulls, I mean, bro, Vooch baby, 25 points, 9 rebounds. Just free Vooch, man. Should have been freed years ago, and yet they didn't. So, yeah, that happened. And I think I also forgot one more game last night. I believe I missed the Blazers and Wizards. Did it? No, I didn't. Those are all the games. We're done. Let's move on to our final segment of today's episode. Ladies and gents, TikTok, again, leave that stream and come through to the Twitch stream. Did I miss a Blazers game last night? What are people telling me in the TikTok? I did not miss a game. I don't know why people are telling me Blazers. Fuck the Blazers. Let's move on. I didn't mean that. It's just I keep getting told Blazers. They literally did not play last night. Let's move on to our next subject, chat. Next subject. They're telling me Rockets. You should have been here at 9 a.m. Eastern, Drew. You missed it. Let's go ahead and move on to our next segment, okay? You guys know, last night, Giannis Antetokounmpo said that he's ready to leave Milwaukee, whether it's this trade deadline or the offseason. Now, I'm going to be honest with everybody. It's not going to happen during the deadline. It ain't happening. He's not going to get moved by the deadline. He's going to get moved into the offseason. I've been preaching this all year round. It's too big of a trade. It's not going to get done in the next week. Less than a week. I think it's 5 days until the deadline. Okay? So he's not going to get moved. But I got you some good-ass packages. Sean, you must have missed the tweet last night. Giannis said he is ready to leave Milwaukee. So, according to that news, it was posted by Shams. He's not going to leave during the season. I know it. But during the offseason, these are the trade packages that I've prepared. Okay? So, I named this segment. I actually asked Artie, my fiance, what is market in Greek? And I forgot how to fucking say it again, bro. Okay, this segment is called the Giannis Agiopa. Yeah, Agiopa. Agiopa. The Giannis Agiopa. The Giannis market. That's what the name of this segment is. I even typed it out in Greek. So yeah, Artie is half Greek. Her mom is from an island in Greece. So let's go ahead. I've been to the island. It's fucking beautiful. Apparently we're going there this summer again, bro. I'm so fucking hyped. So let's go shopping, y'all. The Giannis Agiopa, okay? The number one team I have is the San Antonio Spurs. So this is not my guess on where I believe he's going to go. This is my guess on not my guess. This is my educated opinion on who has the best packages to trade for Giannis. Now, let's go ahead and look at the San Antonio Spurs because in my opinion, they have the best package to offer the Milwaukee Bucks. So what would that package look like? Well, they got a lot of draft picks. So if they want to throw all the draft picks, they can. If Milwaukee is not at least calling San Antonio to see what they can offer, what they're willing to offer, they'd be doing themselves a disservice because they have the best package in the entire NBA. Okay? Now, what would that package look like? Milwaukee would probably demand Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle. They're not getting them. They'll get one of them. And in fact, San Antonio would probably offer Stephon Castle over Dylan Harper. So that package would include either Dylan Harper and or Stephon Castle, and then you would need contracts in order to make that fit. So it would be like a Keldon Johnson, it would be a Harrison Barnes, and it would be Lindy Waters III with 3 or 4 draft picks and either Castle or Harper. And that would get you Giannis and Gary Trent Jr. That's what that would get you back. In fact, I don't even know if they'd be willing to get rid of Gary Trent Jr. So it's a big package, but that is the best package that they can get from the Spurs. That's the best package. Now, again, I have to repeat myself because people are getting upset. These are just the teams that can offer the most for Giannis. This is not me saying they're going to get them, but these are the teams that can offer the most. These are the best packages for Giannis Antetokounmpo. So for all my Spurs fans that are, per this person, the Spurs said that they're not interested. I don't give a fuck. We're talking about the best packages and what they could offer because at the end of the day, whoever wants Giannis is going to get Giannis. They will listen to Giannis, but they will convince Giannis in order to get him to where he wants to go. Okay, so that works. They can trade the Atlanta pick. They can trade their own pick. They can trade their players. They can get Giannis so easily. It's actually crazy how easily they can get Giannis. Like they won't lose anything other than one of their young guards. And that's what Milwaukee's going to want. In fact, they're going to want Dylan Harper way more than Stephon Castle. Let's move on to my next team that I believe has the second most to offer for Giannis Antetokounmpo. My second team is Oklahoma, or the Oklahoma City Thunder. So again, this is why I've told y'all it's not about what team is going to get them, but these are the two teams that have to give up the least amount to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay? Now, what would Oklahoma's package look like? Well, they would offer J-Dub and 1 million picks. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. J-Dub and 6 first-rounders. That's all it takes. And they got it. They have more than enough picks. They can get them easily. Pennies on the dollar. Now, unfortunately for them, Milwaukee would probably want Chet. And that's why they'd have to sweeten the deal by offering a Isaiah Joe and J-Dub. And that would get him. That's it. That is quite literally so easy to get him because all you got to do is match contracts and offer picks. I think they would want Chet more than J-Dub. And obviously, I think Oklahoma would rather give J-Dub because you don't need that much of a logjam. Because you imagine a lineup of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Giannis Antetokounmpo, maybe Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, Or just when Isaiah Hartenstein, no, because the league is getting bigger. It would be Shea, Dort, Giannis at your 3, Chet at the 4, and Isaiah Hartenstein at the 5. Oh my God. Oh my God. That would be arguably the most unstoppable team in NBA history. And they could do it. Now, again, I need to repeat myself because people just do not understand this topic. This topic is the teams with the best packages for Giannis. It doesn't mean they're going to do it. It just means that these teams have to do the least to get Giannis. They have the best packages to get Giannis. Undisputed, the best package. So that's who I have at number 2. If the Thunder want him, they can call and get him today. It's genuine. Like, I'm being so serious. If I'm the Thunder, I'm calling and seeing what can we do. But I'm not going to move a core member of my 3 for Giannis right now. I'm personally not. But I mean, Shea and Giannis, you're guaranteeing yourself a championship every year for bro, come on now. Actually, I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it. See you, J-Dub. I'm doing that in a heartbeat. In fact, if I were OKC and I didn't trade for Giannis right now, the only reason why they haven't done it is because they won last year. If they didn't win last year, they'd have Giannis by now, just so everybody's clear. Giannis would have been on OKC last summer. You guys understand that, right? It would be just like that Durant thing that happened way back when in 2017. Had they lost to Denver last year, or anybody, they would have traded for Giannis. I guarantee you that. Let's move on to my 3rd team that has the best package, and that is, believe it or not, the Miami Heat. Heat fans, breathe. Nobody hyperventilate. Breathe. You guys can breathe. I know. The Miami Heat are always in these trade talks, and yet they never end up with a player that they want, okay? But let's talk about the Miami Heat because they have the 3rd best offer for Giannis. They can get this done as easily as a Tyler Hero. They have to give up Jaime Jaquez and Khalil Ware. We're talking best packages, ladies and gents. It would be Hero, Ware, Jaime Jaquez, and picks. That's it. Or you could give up Bam. I personally wouldn't. But you can give up Bam. Same package. It'd be Bam, Jaime. You probably don't need to package Ware then, but you'd have to give up a Wiggins. I wouldn't personally do that. I would rather do Hero, Jaime Jaquez, Khalil Ware for Giannis, and picks for Giannis. That's a great package. And that's why I have that at number 3. I think pairing Bam Adebayo and Giannis would be nice. I think that'd be Giannis's best big man he's ever played with. I mean, no disrespect to John Henson or Larry Sanders. Yeah, I know ball, bro. I know fucking ball, Chet. But I think that would be the best center he's ever played with. And you could easily convince yourself that Davion Mitchell, Simone Fampupi, you can convince yourself that Norm Powell, Giannis, Bam, and Davion Mitchell can make a deep playoff run. I can genuinely see that. I'm not being crazy when I say that. But that could make them a prolific team. I'm getting called a hater by my Heat fan master planner. I'm sorry for you getting so offended by me insulting Simone Fanpupio. He's a former Piston. I don't like him. I'm not insulting the Miami Heat. I'm insulting Simone Fanpupio. If you're hurt by that, cry me a fucking river. You get offended far too easily about your Miami Heat, buddy. You got to learn how to grow thicker skin. He has one game every 3 months for you, and you're defending him like he's your fucking father. Relax. So I think genuinely, if they traded for Giannis, that's a good fucking team. That is a good fucking team. Davion Mitchell, Norm Powell. I mean, Jovic sucks, but you still got Simone Fanpupio. And then Giannis and Bam. I think that's a good team, man. I think that's a good team. That's a good team. You still got Bam. That's what matters. And then in the offseason, go for Ja Morant. Let's just do a no shooting team. Let's do Ja. Let's do Ja, Giannis, Bam. Fuck it. Just balls to the wall, man. Do it. Why not? You got nothing to lose, bro. You got nothing to lose. All right, let's move on. I'm being so dead ass when I say that, though. The Miami Heat, if they can get Giannis, add Zion into the mix. If you can add Giannis to this team, That's terrifying. That's genuinely terrifying. The defense would be unbelievable. Re-sign Norm, hopefully bring him back on a discount. That would be terrifying. In fact, Miami would beat the Pistons if it was the first versus 8 seed and they had Giannis. They would beat the Pistons, if healthy, of course. They would beat New York. I think they would beat New York. The defense there would be unbelievable. I think the only thing that would lack at is shooting, but defense could make up for that. I think that team would be good. I think that team would be really, really good. Let's move on to my fourth team that I believe has the best package, and that is the New York Knicks. New York has a good package for Milwaukee if they would like to stay mediocre. And I'm being very serious when I say that. I've talked about this New York Knicks trade a lot. If the Bucks want to continue to sell tickets, then get Karl Anthony Towns. They don't have any picks to offer, but if you get Karl Anthony Towns, you're also going to have to give up Josh Hart in the mix, and they would probably demand a Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby. They wouldn't be willing to give up OG, but I think they'd be willing to give up Mikal. Now, you guys are probably wondering, that's a lot of money. What are you going to do for there? Welcome Miles Turner and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I believe if you trade for Giannis, the New York Knicks are guaranteed to get Miles Turner because they're going to demand Karl Anthony Towns. They're going to demand Mikal Bridges, and they are going to demand Josh Hart. That's how that trade is going to be. It will be for Giannis and Miles Turner, and your starting lineup then would be, it would be that way because you need to match the contracts, and that's the only way the Bucks can remain competitive. If they make the trade with the New York Knicks, it's because they want to remain competitive. They are not okay with young players. They just want proven vets from you. It would be that sort of trade. Now, I would like to just repeat everybody. I would like to repeat this for everybody listening and watching, okay? That starting lineup would be Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, OG Anunoby, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Miles Turner. Is that better than what you have right now? Because then your bench is going to be Tyler Kolek, Ariel Huck-Porty. You might have to give Tyler Kolek as well. Oh, no, that team is ass, dude. Yeah, your team... So this is what I want to repeat myself with, okay? And I've talked about this a lot, okay? So please listen. Please listen. Giannis has vocalized that he wants to go to New York. He has talked about it plenty of times. He has talked about how he wants to go to New York. The biggest issue now is if you trade for Giannis. I've been saying this in my Discord server a lot, so if you guys are new, be sure to join the Discord. This is somewhat similar to what happened with Carmelo Anthony way back in the day. Carmelo Anthony was on his last year of his deal in Denver, and he wanted out and he wanted to go to New York. He wanted to go to New York. He was throwing baby rants, baby rages that I want to go to New York, even though he was a free agent in 5 months. So what did they do? The New York Knicks, I believe, were a top 3 seed in the East, playing so fucking well. I loved that team. It was Raymond Felton, Danilo Gallinari, Amari Stoudemire. Man, I love that team, bro. I loved that team. And then they traded everything. Wilson Chandler, thank you. They traded everything for Carmelo Anthony. And then they proceeded to only win one more playoff series for the rest of Carmelo Anthony's tenure in New York. They destroyed their team for Carmelo Anthony. A star. Hell, a superstar at that point in time. Carmelo Anthony was that guy. He was that guy. He was nothing but a winner until he made it into the NBA. Had he been drafted by Detroit, we'd be talking about Carmelo Anthony as one of the greatest players in NBA history. We'd be talking about Carmelo Anthony's legacy as if it were untouchable. Had the Pistons drafted Carmelo and not Darko Milicic, I digress. I am scared that this is the same thing that's going to happen with Giannis Antetokounmpo. You have a good team, man. You have a good team. Do not destroy it for a superstar. Please. Do not destroy it. I know you guys are saying, but we have Brunson. Guys, Brunson has been getting hurt every single year, every playoffs. You know who's also hurt and missing playoff games? Giannis. Please do not destroy your team to trade for Giannis. Wait until he's a free agent and pick him up on a contract deal. Do I really need to remind y'all of all the times that Jalen Brunson got hurt in the playoffs last year? Every single game against the Pistons, he got hurt, rolled his ankle, went back into the locker room, and got an ankle replacement. Yeah, he was still playing well, but do y'all genuinely believe that y'all would have taken a game off of Oklahoma? Brunson was destroyed by the end of that Pacers series. And I know you guys are saying, I know this question was going to come up. The only problem is, shout out Anthony for this message in the Twitch chat. The only problem with that is our window is closed by that time, and I sadly agree. Giannis has 2 more years on his deal, I believe. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Giannis also still has 2 more years. And guys, Giannis is also, he's turning 32 this year. So by the time his deal is over, he'll be 34. Unless, does he have 1 more year? Does he have 1 more year on his deal? I don't remember. I'd have to, I actually have to look this up right now. Giannis, he's under contract through 27 with a player option through 28. He's not turning down $63 million, guys. He's not turning down $63 million. So at that point in time, 2028, he will be 34. And I know you guys are saying 34 is not old. I know it's not. But basketball years, especially for a player like Giannis, 34 is old as fuck. This isn't Durant 34. This isn't LeBron 34. This is, unfortunately, this is Yao Ming 34. This is old. This is old. So if you were to wait for him to be a free agent, I wouldn't want Giannis at 34 years old. If I'm trying to win for the next few years. If you're trying to win this year, then sure. On top of all of that, we're pretending that Jalen Brunson at that point in time won't be 33. Brunson will be 32 at that point in time. That would make the Knicks one of the oldest teams in the NBA. So again, I do have to reiterate this. As much as I think it will destroy your team if you trade Giannis, listen, he's still going to demand that supermax whatever team he goes to. I just don't know what Giannis is going to be doing at 34 years old, man. And with Jalen Brunson and all his ankle injuries, Josh Hart and all his injuries, I know you guys want Karl Anthony Towns off your team, but are you really prepared to be rolling out a bench lineup of Tyler Kolek, Landry Shamet, Mitchell Robinson? Holy fuck, that is just, what's his name? Diarrhea? I forgot that guy's name. Yeah, Diarrhea. Dude, that sounds fucking ass. That sounds horrible. So yeah, Knicks fans, I implore y'all to think about it, man. I implore y'all to think about it. It's either destroy your roster right now and pray to God that Giannis and Brunson can be healthy next year. Otherwise, it's wraps. I don't see that trade working, man. I want to say Mo, shout out to Mo AFC for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. I want to say real quick, Oliver, Imo, KP, Tomas, please come through to the Twitch stream, guys. We'd love to have y'all. If you guys watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 subscription. So come through to the Twitch. Come join the conversation. We'd love to have you all over here. Guys, my final option for Giannis to get traded. Oops, I fucked up. Final option for Giannis to get traded to is the Portland Trailblazers. I think Portland is my sleeper here, y'all. I think Portland is my sleeper. They have picks. They have young talent. It just depends what route Milwaukee wants to take. Do they want young talent? Do they want to do a full rebuild? Or do they want to sell tickets? If they want to sell tickets, accept that New York Knicks offer. If they want young players and young talent into a full rebuild, there's a lot of trade options for there. Obviously, the Spurs being number 1, the Thunder being number 2. What team did I have at number 3? The Miami Heat for young talent again. But if you want to sell tickets, New York's your best bet. If you want another good option, it's also the Portland Trailblazers. They're my fifth option. It's not like they have a lot to offer, but they do have draft picks. They got good capital. They got good draft picks. They also have good young talent. You can get a Shaedon Sharpe. You would probably also have to take Jeremy Grant, even though because his contract. And they would probably demand Shaedon Sharpe, Kamara, and probably Sissoko. That would probably be the trade, and you would probably have to only keep. You'd keep Denny. You'd keep Klingon. You'd keep Matisse Thybulle. And actually, you know what? Instead of Shaedon, they'd probably want Caleb Love. The more I think about it. You could also do another trade that involves New York and Portland. Just so you guys know. You can make a trade like that involving Portland in a 3-team deal with New York. That also works. You would send Cat to Milwaukee. You would send Caleb Love or Shaedon Sharpe to Milwaukee. And then the draft picks would all go Milwaukee's way. And that's probably the best trade that you can make from the New York Knicks. I wouldn't want to do a 1-to-1 trade with the Knicks and Bucks, but you could do a 3-team deal and really work out a banging deal with any one of these teams. So Knicks fans, OKC fans, Spurs fans, and Heat fans, if you get involved in a 3-team deal, and you could make it a 4-team trade, you really could make it a 4-team trade. It just gets complicated, and this is the reason why I said this trade is not going to happen in the middle of a season. It's going to happen in the offseason, because if you were to do this, Anthony and everybody, if you guys were to do this, Knicks fans, you want as many teams involved as possible, because as I just told y'all, if you do a 1-to-1 trade from New York to Milwaukee, you're giving up everything. So wait on it. I think in the offseason it's going to be great. Giannis, I believe, will get moved into the offseason, and there's a lot of options where you could go. I hope you guys enjoyed that segment. I hope you guys understand a little bit more of what it takes to trade for Giannis. And I hope you guys also understand the risk in which it takes to trade for Giannis. There's only 5 days left in this trade before the trade deadline. Giannis is not getting moved. Nobody's going to do a 1-to-1 team trade. The only teams that can afford that is the Thunder and the Spurs. If you want Miami, well, Miami can do it too. But if you want the Knicks or Portland or any of these other teams in the NBA to make a trade with Giannis, it's going to demand a third and maybe even fourth team involved. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's show. Next week, we're actually going to bring a segment that we end every single show with, just so you guys know the end of it. So next week's episodes are going to be even better. Of course, we're live tomorrow as well. I want to give special shout outs to EV and Fishgills. Fishgills said that he used to watch when I played Warzone. That's badass. And EV, I appreciate you for swinging on into the Twitch stream as well, my man. It really means a lot. Guys, be sure to join the Discord as well. It really, really helps a lot. Join the community, join the conversation. If you guys want to talk hoops, my Twitch stream and Discord are the best spots to be. Okay? I absolutely agree. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to do it for today's episode. We are going to be live tomorrow morning again at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Twitch chat, stick around. Do not go anywhere. TikTok, YouTube, if you guys want more, we're still live on Twitch. So come through. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. Again, Twitch chat, stick with me. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. I got nothing left to say, y'all, except for thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching / listening. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Tune into the Twitch, y'all. Love y'all. Have a blessed day.